What is going on, guys? I'm Consumer Tech Review, and today I'm gonna be counting down the top 5 mechanical keyboards under 50 bucks. I'm gonna be going from the worst of the best down to the best of the best at number 1. And at any point during the video, if you wanna check out any of the 5 keyboards in this video, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do got you guys. But let's jump into number 5. And that is the Red Dragon K552 RGB, coming in at just 43 bucks. It is super budget friendly and under 50 bucks. Build quality is really good. This thing is heavy. It uses a very solid top metal plate. If you try to stand up and flex this thing, there is absolutely none. It is very, very solid. The bottom is a plastic shell, but it's a high quality plastic shell. Overall, no problems with the build quality, and it feels very solid to type on. All right, now the switches. You can only get one switch with this, which is Altemu blue switches. These are going to be a loud, clicky, tactile switch. So if you guys are getting into mechanical keyboards or on a tactile and loud keyboard, you're gonna like this. It's really great for typing, and it's fantastic for somebody that really likes a satisfying click. Here is the sound test. And that is how it sounds. All right, now there is per key RGB lighting. The RGB is good. It has good vibrancy. It's got a bunch of different modes, and it's actually much brighter than you would expect. This is not hot swappable, and it does not have a detachable USB cable, although it does have nice gold plating, and it is a pretty nice rubber wrapped cable. Moving on to the number 4 spot, this is another keyboard under 50 bucks. This is the Lunar Alloy PK001. This keyboard is awesome, coming in at only 40 bucks. This has got extremely good build quality, very, very premium. It has aircraft grade aluminum on the top with these machined edges, which just look awesome. Again, all metal, all aluminum. Super nice. Everything fits together nicely and is very, very refined. More than you would think. All right, now the switches. This uses either red Altemu switches or blue Altemu switches. On this keyboard, I do recommend the reds because this thing sounds really good stock, which is awesome. Especially if you added PBT keycaps to this, it would sound exceptionally good. Here is the sound test. And that is how it sounds. All right, now the RGB, it is not per key lighting. It is only one effect, which is a rainbow, and it's just static like that. So you cannot change the RGB. However, you are getting less with the RGB, but you're getting more with everything else, which is why this is on the number 4 spot. However, the consistent RGB that it has is good vibrancy, very bright, and it looks pretty. It is not swappable, and it does not have a detachable cable, but it does have a really nice, like, ultralight style, like, loosely braided cable, which is nice. All right, moving to the number 3 spot, this is the Royal Kludge RK61 RGB version and the hot swappable version. Now, this is still budget friendly, but I go a little bit over budget with this one at 51 bucks. I go over by $1, and that is why it's at the number 3 spot and not the number 1 spot. And this is the most expensive keyboard on the list. I swear I won't go over again. The build quality is really, really good. This is typical Royal Kludge. It's solid, it's heavy, everything fits together nicely. It is nice. All right, now the switches are nice. I'm not sure if they are Gateron or Kailh switches. Royal Kludge has both companies make their switches for them and then brands them as Royal Kludge, so I'm not sure. However, you are getting a higher quality switch than something like a Altemu switch, so that is nice. I have this in brown, and this is how it sounds. And that is how it sounds. All right, now this does have per key lighting. It's got a bunch of different modes. I don't actually have the RGB version. I have the static single color version. But again, it's only 51 bucks to get the RGB version with hot swappability. And like I said, this is fully hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches. So if you want to put a bunch of different switches inside of it, like tangerines or Kailh switches or anything that you really want, this is hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches. So you can just hot swap them right in there, which is awesome and a huge pro. And this does use a detachable USB-C for connection. All right, moving on to the number 2 spot. This is a keyboard you guys know I love. This is the TechWare Phantom 87. This is a TKL keyboard coming in at only 46 bucks. All right, now this might be the best build quality on the list. Everything is really, really well put together. It is heavy. It has a fantastic metal deck on the top, but beyond all of that, it looks really, really clean. It has a nice Phantom logo on the front. The fit and finish and plastics and metal that they use are just really high quality and definitely definitely the best build quality on the list. Now this does use Outemu switches, and you can either pick from red, brown, or blue switches, and this is how it sounds with brown switches. And that is how it sounds. Now this does have perky RGB lighting. It is brighter than your typical keyboard. Again, ton of modes, perky lighting, everything you really want in RGB. All right, now this is hot swappable, but only with other Outemu. So really, if a switch breaks or you want to switch it to like a brown switch from a red switch, you can do that, but you can't hot swap in any other types of switches. But besides that, this does not have a detachable cable, but it does have 3 different cable channels that you can have it come out a different way. So that's cool. But let's move on to the number 1 spot. And this is the Ractus RTK63. You guys have never heard me talk about this one before, but it is super budget friendly, coming in at just 39 bucks right now. Normally it retails for 45, but right now it's 39 bucks. Absolutely ridiculous. Now build quality is pretty generic. It's very similar to the GK61, although this is not a 60%, it's just a little bit bigger than a 60% with those arrow keys, but it feels solid and everything's really well put together. But besides that, you can also get this in white or black, which is just a nice thing to be able to customize it yourself. Now, this thing is using Outemu switches, and I do recommend getting the reds for this keyboard opposed to any other switch. The other switches will be nice, but I think the reds will feel the best on this keyboard. But the big thing with this is the stabilizers are really good at this price point, like really amazing. Probably the best stabilizers at this price point of only 39 bucks. Craziness. That's why this is number 1, because the typing feel and experience is actually really premium for this price point, because the stabilizers and the switches, everything feels really freaking good. And again, remember, 39 bucks. We're doing under 40 now. I have the red switches, and this is how it sounds. And that is how it sounds. RGB is actually surprisingly good. It is perky lighting. It's got fantastic vibrancy and actually really, really good brightness. It's got a lot of deep reds, a lot of deep blues, a lot of deep greens. So that's really cool. Now, unfortunately, it is not hot swappable, but it does use a detachable USB-C for connection, which is awesome. But again, guys, if you want to check out any of the 5 keywords in this video, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. I do got you guys. But yeah, these keyboards are seriously awesome for under 50 bucks. Some of them, like the Royal Kludge, are fantastic to upgrade. I went a little bit over budget there because you have the hot swap ability, but I will say those stabilizers need some work done to them to make them sound and feel like the number 1 spot at only 39 bucks. So if you guys don't want to upgrade your stuff and you don't even need the hot swappableness of it, then just go with the number 1 spot, the Ractus RTK63. Just an amazing keyboard. I was actually blown away with it. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you enjoy top 5 keyboard videos, top 10 tech setup videos, peripheral reviews, keyboard reviews, I do a ton of those, so please consider subscribing below. But this was Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys in the next video.